We'd be able to go, you wouldn't have to work for anybody if you were responsible with that wealth and protected it. 160 acres is a lot of land. So he says here, of all the public land that this act passed into private hands, not more than 11 to 17% was settled by homesteaders. By 1900, most of the land had gone to speculators who thus acquired the claims to rich Western lands, timber, and mineral rights without having to bid or compete for the wealth. Blacks were unable to acquire any of this last time giveaway of land wealth. Many were interested, but had their lives threatened by whites and decided not to pursue the free land. So when they went after the wealth, see, this is another thing that you got to understand. This is a mistake that a lot of us make. Is you sometimes you assume that we're the first generation of black people who actually had dreams. That we're the first, we're the fancy new Negroes because we got our little bachelor's degrees and master's degrees. We're the first ones to want to actually learn and build and save and invest for our families. Like that we're the first generation of black people that actually cared enough about our kids to invest for them and leave them an inheritance. That's foolish thinking. That's ridiculous thinking. That's insanity. To think that out of the last 10, 15 generations, you're the first generation that actually thinks about legacy and passing wealth on to your children. No, they thought about these things too. And they tried to do these things, but somehow the money disappeared. Somehow the wealth disappeared. The land disappeared. The stuff just ended up being taken from them. And so to me, that's a mystery. That's the mystery that has to be solved. Who took the property? Who took our stuff? Who took your birthright? Somebody took it. So this requires an investigation. So if anything's to be studied, it ain't reparations. Kamala, with all due respect, that's been studied a billion times. You don't have to do the study. You just have to talk to the right people. But these are people that are probably going to make you a little nervous because they're not going to bend over and do whatever the Democrats or Republicans tell them to do. Um, if you want to do a study, study who took our stuff. Study which white people own the land that used to belong to black people, but suddenly was repossessed when that black man got sent to jail on false charges. Study the land that was owned in parts of Mississippi, perhaps, by black people, where their family was run out of town by the KKK, and somebody took their property because they weren't there anymore because they couldn't live there because they were going to get killed. Go study that. That's the study that needs to be done because that is a criminal investigation. That is a criminal, and it is not legal or nor is it ethical to take possession of stolen property. So a lot of the wealth that is in the hands of other people is stolen property. So if you want to study something, go study that. There you go. All right. So let's keep going here. I mean, if people can, if white women can file lawsuits because somebody touched their booty in 1992, then black people should be able to file lawsuits for land that was stolen, and there's documentation proving that. Okay, so let me keep going here. Let's see here. Blacks were unable to acquire any of this last time giveaway of land wealth. Many were interested, but had their lives threatened by whites and decided not to pursue the free land. The acquisition policy of the Homestead Act was that anyone who, quote, tended the land should not have to pay for it, end quote. But again, hypocrisy reigned. No one had spent more time tending land than blacks.